experiencing Nintendo 64 with my dad for the first time and just navigating that entire season.
And Killer Instinct Gold, which is better than the arcade.
Letting the Nintendo 64 and each game that came out, like this one, just really peel back another layer and really just help soothe and just help the healing.
Wave Race.
Slip on your wetsuit and fire up your jet ski. It's the fastest, flyingest, wettest ride to splash onto the Nintendo 64. It's Wave Race 64. The competition is fierce as you navigate 8 unique courses.
When Dad and I picked up Wave Race back in 1996, it was the third Nintendo 64 game that we ever had. And we'd never seen 3D graphics like we were seeing with Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings. And it made us so hungry for anything else because the wow factor of these games, guys, the wow factor was just unbelievable. And so I remember when we picked up the game, I remember popping it into the Nintendo 64 and just being blown away by its amazing wave effects. I mean, these effects were just mind-boggling back in 1996. When I first played the game, I probably spent the most time inside Dolphin Park.
Warm-up time. Follow that dolphin.
I swear, you could just play this over and over again. You could do the stunt mode and just really take a relaxing, time with the game. You didn't have to win a race. You didn't have to do anything. You just very casually race around this circle and swim with the dolphins. Like, that was just so relaxing to me, guys. Swimming with the dolphins. Every Nintendo 64 game back then, guys, you got to remember, it took time to get used to the controls because Nintendo 64 was this brand new analog stick 3D controller, and every game back then we were picking up, it felt like we were learning how to walk again. I mean, it was crazy, guys. It was so crazy. Wave Race 64 was a way to relax. And I to this day, as I get older, I appreciate that because life can get pretty hectic and life can get kind of crazy. And you know what? It's good to relax. And this game is such a relaxing game. I remember Dad in particular was just so blown away by this game. And at the time, my mom and my dad had separated and actually were in the process of getting divorced. This was an interesting period for me in my life because I was kind of trying to maneuver through my parents' divorce, right? And this game, with all of its amazing qualities, I think the thing that really stands out for me is its soundtrack. There's something about the soundtrack that was very relaxing and very soothing. And I used to play this game to relax in a time when life was kind of topsy-turvy and my parents were going through what they were going through. I would play this game and kind of escape into it. There's the third stage in the game, Drake Lake, and that stage is full of mist. There's this like morning mist, this morning dew, and it's very foggy. And as you're racing through that stage, every lap it gets a little less foggy. And the music in that stage is very, very soothing.
3, 2, 1.
I remember loving to get to that stage and just loving how it made me feel. I mean, it made me feel like, I don't know, it was very tranquil. It was peaceful at a time when I really needed peace. And so 96, that was the year that all this was happening in my family. At least that was the start of it. And so I mentioned it before with my Zelda video, my parents' divorce. The Zelda video really kind of highlighted that. But that was 98, and I was still kind of recovering from a lot of what happened with that. This game represents the beginning of all of that. And so for me, this one is just, it's a real special one, guys. Shigeru Miyamoto, he was producer on the game, and it really shows because, there's so much love and care put into the little details of this game. Just little moments. Like when you actually go to start a new course, and there's this little moment where you hear this little piano, and it's very tranquil, it's very peaceful. You hear the piano, and it plays this little riff. And then once you hit the button to start the race, it goes do 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 do. I don't know, there's just these little moments. The game is full of little moments, and I love that. I eat it up with a spoon. I'll play this game every year or so. I'll pop it on, and it really, if I'm having a rough day at work, if I'm just life is hard, I'll pop it on, and it's very relaxing, and it's just a flood of memories come back, mostly the good ones. Experiencing Nintendo 64 with my dad for the first time, and just navigating that entire season, dealing with what we were going through, and letting the Nintendo 64 and each game that came out, like this one, just really peel back another layer and really just help soothe and just help the healing. It didn't heal completely, but it sure helped. And we bonded over these games. It was really a season. Every Nintendo 64 game that came out, it felt like we were picking them up, and it was because each game was helping heal from what we were going through around that time. Now, when the GameCube came out, we got Wave Race Blue Storm. This is a good game. It was a launch title for Nintendo's follow-up console, and there was so much hype for me when this came out. And when we got the Nintendo GameCube, we were so excited.
And now, Wave Race.
Wave Race 64 was a game that set the tone for Nintendo 64. And GameCube, 128-bit graphics. We thought Wave Race Blue Storm was going to just blow us away like the Nintendo 64 game did.
Cool. Go ahead.
I'm ready. I've got a perfect view of the course from here in the pit, so I'll be able to help you out if the going gets rough. Hey, Kari, hit the gas just as the light goes green. We'll have full power.
In actuality, there's a lot of flaws with this game, a lot of things. The controls were bad. There was something wrong and off with the character designs too. It felt like it was made by a different studio, and I do believe it was. And the thing that really gets me, like I said before, the music from Wave Race 64, that was amazing. And that's what really made that game work for me. The music in Blue Storm, it's not the same. It's no longer that kind of tranquil, peaceful, smooth jazz kind of music,
Not a great start, but it's never too late. Go for it. That's right. Okay. Super.
I feel like with Wave Race 64, I'm listening to the Rippingtons, this smooth jazz band. And I'm I'm on vacation or something. With Blue Storm, it's more generic rock.
Watch it! There's someone right behind you!
I really felt like they got it wrong there, and that's what hurts. That's what hurts this one quite a bit. But I still really enjoy Wave Race Blue Storm for what it is. The graphics are really good. It's really fantastic. Definitely recommend checking it out.
bad?
I feel like it's moving all over the place.
For me, the real legacy of Wave Race lies with the original Nintendo 64 game. Now, there was another game. This isn't actually the original. The original was actually the Game Boy game. That's right. There was a Game Boy game, Wave Race on Game Boy. And this game, I never played. I used to see it in the stores. I used to see this box art on the store shelves. And I always wondered what it was. And then Wave Race 64 comes out, right? And I honestly didn't put the two and two together. It wasn't until much later that I realized that Wave Race 64 was a sequel to that game, Wave Race on Game Boy, that I used to see on the Toys R Us store shelves. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I remember having that revelation and it just blowing my mind, guys. Just totally blowing my mind. I love and adore this game, and I don't know why Nintendo has just forgotten it. They've just let it just fall to the wayside. I don't get it, guys. I really don't understand. I really would love to know what's going on in their minds. Like, do that? I guess it all comes down to the dollar. I guess they don't feel like it's a viable franchise. But I say give it another shot, guys. We didn't see one on the Wii. We didn't see one on the Switch, the Wii U. It's been too long, guys, and it kind of makes me sad. And I don't really know. If you guys know, maybe write a comment. Let me know. I adore this game and this series, and I really hope Nintendo does something new with it.